Life is too short to be distracted by what others are doing, saying, or thinking. You have a purpose, a calling, and a destiny that no one else can fulfill but you. But too often we waste precious energy worrying about other people, what they think, what they say, how they live. The truth is, you don't have time for that. If you want to rise higher, you must focus solely on yourself. Your progress, your mindset, your faith. That's what matters. When you keep your attention on your own path, you become stronger, wiser, and more successful. There will always be noise around you. People have opinions. Some will doubt you. Others will misunderstand you. But hear me today. You don't have to respond to everything. Silence is power. When you refuse to engage in distractions, negativity, or drama, you protect your peace and move forward with confidence. Think about a seed in the ground. It doesn't announce its growth. It doesn't beg for attention. It simply stays hidden, absorbing the nutrients it needs, and in due time it breaks through the soil and becomes what it was created to be. That's what happens when you stay focused and silent. You grow stronger without the need for validation. Maybe you're in a season where people don't see what's happening inside you. That's okay. Stay silent and keep building. Let your results speak for you. Let your success be the proof of your dedication. When you focus on yourself, you stop comparing, you stop competing, and you start winning. Because your only competition is the person you were yesterday. One of the greatest challenges in life is maintaining focus on your own journey. It's so easy to get caught up in what everyone else is doing, to compare your progress with theirs, and to feel like you're either ahead or behind. But the truth is, your path is unique. No two people are meant to walk the same road. The moment you start looking around at what others are achieving, you begin to lose sight of what's meant for you. You weren't created to live according to someone else's timeline. You have your own season, your own blessings, and your own purpose to fulfill. The problem with focusing on others is that it creates unnecessary distractions. You begin to question yourself. Am I doing enough? Should I be further along? Why do they have what I've been praying for? These thoughts steal your joy and peace. Comparison will always rob you of gratitude. Instead of celebrating where you are, you'll constantly feel like you're lacking something. But let me tell you, you're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be. What's for you will come to you at the right time, in the right way, and through the right doors. Another reason you must focus solely on yourself is that other people's success has nothing to do with your destiny. Just because someone else is thriving doesn't mean you're failing. Life is not a competition. There's room for everyone to succeed. But when you're too busy looking at what someone else has, you neglect what's in your own hands. The gifts, talents, and abilities that God placed inside you will never flourish if you're constantly wishing for what someone else has. The moment you stop comparing and start appreciating, you unlock a new level of freedom. You also have to be careful not to let outside voices dictate your decisions. Too many people spend their lives trying to please others, living for validation and chasing approval. But you weren't put on this earth to live for someone else's opinion. You were created with a purpose that is uniquely yours. If you allow the expectations of others to guide your path, you'll end up somewhere you were never meant to be. You don't need everyone to understand your journey. Some people won't see the vision God has given you, and that's okay. It's not their vision, it's yours. Stay true to what's in your heart. When you focus on your own growth, something amazing happens. You start to recognize how far you've actually come. Instead of feeling behind, you begin to appreciate your progress. You realize that every step, every lesson, and every challenge has been shaping you into the person you're meant to be. Growth isn't always loud. Sometimes it happens in the quiet seasons of life when no one else is watching. And that's okay, because real transformation doesn't need an audience. Your journey is personal, and the only person you need to compete with is the version of yourself from yesterday. If you want to go higher, you have to be intentional about where your focus goes. What you feed will grow. If you constantly feed negativity, comparison, and doubt, those things will take over your mind. But if you choose to feed faith, self-discipline, and personal growth, you'll become stronger, wiser, and more confident. Every great person you admire had to go through a season where they blocked out distractions and focused on becoming the best version of themselves. If you want to reach your full potential, you have to do the same. So stop looking around and start looking within. Everything you need to succeed is already inside you. You don't need to compete. You don't need to compare. You don't need anyone else's validation. Your only job is to focus on becoming the person you were created to be. One of the biggest traps in life is living for the approval of others. It's natural to want to be liked, to be accepted, and to fit in. But if you spend your days trying to meet everyone's expectations, you'll never fulfill the purpose you were meant for. The need for approval is one of the greatest distractions from your destiny. When you worry too much about what people think, you become afraid to take risks, hesitant to step out in faith, and stuck in a cycle of trying to please everyone except yourself. The truth is, no matter how much you do, some people will still have something to say. You might as well focus on living for your own purpose instead of trying to meet their approval. The reality is people will always have opinions. Some will support you and others will criticize you. That's just part of life. If you let what others say determine your choices, you'll constantly feel frustrated and uncertain. You weren't meant to live based on someone else's opinions. You were designed to follow your own calling, to walk your own path, and to listen to the voice inside you. The moment you stop worrying about what people think, you free yourself to move forward with confidence. If you spend all your time trying to be what someone else wants, you'll never become the person you were created to be. Another reason you must let go of worrying about others is that people's opinions change all the time. One moment they'll cheer for you, the next they'll criticize you. If you live for their applause, you'll die by their rejection. That's why you have to stay grounded in your own vision. Your worth is not based on approval ratings. Just because someone doesn't see your value doesn't mean it isn't there. Some of the most successful people in history were doubted, mocked, and misunderstood, but they didn't let that stop them. They stayed focused on their purpose, and in time their success spoke louder than the criticism. If you're constantly worried about what others think, you'll hesitate to take bold steps. You'll hold back from opportunities, afraid of judgment. But greatness requires courage. You can't step into your full potential if you're always looking over your shoulder. What if they don't approve? What if they talk about me? What if they don't understand my choices? The truth is, they might not, but that's okay. You don't need everyone to understand you in order to succeed. Your destiny isn't dependent on their approval. You are the one who has to live with your decisions, not them. So why give their opinions more weight than your own vision? The fear of what others think also keeps you from embracing your unique identity. When you try to please everyone, you start to water yourself down. You lose the originality that makes you special. But the world doesn't need another copy of someone else. It needs the real you. Your gifts, your talents, and your perspective are one of a kind. If you spend your time trying to fit in, you'll miss out on the greatness that comes from standing out. Your authenticity is your greatest strength. When you stop living for approval and start living for purpose, you become unstoppable. It's important to remember that the people who truly matter will support you for who you are, not for who they want you to be. Real friends, real supporters, and real mentors will encourage you to follow your own path. They won't pressure you to live for their expectations. So if someone is making you feel like you have to change, shrink, or compromise to be accepted, they are not your people. Let go of the need for validation from the wrong sources. Surround yourself with those who uplift and believe in you. At the end of the day, you have one life to live. You can spend it trying to meet everyone's expectations, or you can spend it fulfilling the purpose you were born for. The choice is yours. The sooner you stop worrying about what people think, the sooner you'll step into the life that was meant for you. You don't need their approval to be successful. You don't need their permission to go after your dreams. You only need the courage to focus on your purpose and keep moving forward. There is power in silence. In a world where everyone feels the need to explain, justify, and prove themselves, choosing to stay quiet can be one of the strongest moves you make. Too often people waste energy responding to negativity, defending their choices, or engaging in unnecessary arguments. But silence allows you to rise above distractions. It keeps your mind clear, your emotions stable, and your focus strong. Not every battle is worth fighting, and not every opinion deserves a response. When you learn to stay silent and let your actions speak for themselves, you gain control over your own peace and progress. One of the biggest benefits of silence is that it protects your mental and emotional energy. Every time you engage in negativity, whether it's gossip, criticism, or unnecessary drama, you drain yourself. Your mind becomes cluttered with thoughts that don't serve you, and your emotions get tangled up in things that have nothing to do with your purpose. But when you choose silence, you protect your inner peace. You don't have to respond to every insult. You don't have to explain your decisions to people who won't understand. You don't have to let someone's negativity pull you into a place you don't belong. Silence is a shield. It keeps you focused on what truly matters. Another reason silence is powerful is that it gives you the ability to observe and learn. When you're always talking, defending yourself, or reacting, you miss out on valuable lessons. But when you stay silent, you start to notice things that others don't. You see people's true intentions. You hear what's being said between the lines. You recognize opportunities and weaknesses that might have gone unnoticed. The most successful people in the world aren't the ones who talk the most. They're the ones who listen, observe, and move strategically. Silence allows you to be in control rather than being controlled by emotions or impulsive reactions. Silence is also a powerful response to doubt and negativity. People will always have opinions about what you should or shouldn't do. Some will criticize you, question you, or try to bring you down. But when you respond with silence, you send a message that their words have no power over you. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. When you remain quiet and focused on your goals, your results will speak louder than any argument ever could. Instead of wasting time explaining yourself, let your success do the talking. Those who doubted you will see your growth, and those who supported you will be even more inspired, because sometimes silence is necessary because not everyone deserves to know your plans. When you're working on something big, it's tempting to share your vision with others, but not everyone will celebrate your success. Some will doubt you, some will discourage you, and some will even try to sabotage your progress. That's why it's important to move in silence, work behind the scenes, build in private, and let your results make the announcement for you. The less people know, the less they can interfere. Protect your dreams by keeping them between you and God until they're ready to be revealed. Silence also teaches you self-control. There will be moments when you feel the urge to react, to defend yourself, to argue, to prove a point, but strength isn't in reacting, it's in restraint. When you stay silent, you take control of the situation instead of letting it control you. Maturity is knowing when to speak and when to be quiet. Not every situation requires a response. Not every comment deserves attention. The ability to remain silent in the face of negativity is a sign of confidence, wisdom, and emotional strength. Finally, silence allows you to stay aligned with your purpose. When you remove distractions and unnecessary conversations, you create space for clarity. You can focus on your goals without the noise of outside opinions. You can make decisions without being influenced by others. You can move forward with confidence, knowing that your path is guided by your own wisdom, faith, and determination. The most powerful people aren't the loudest. They're the ones who stay focused, work in silence, and let their success speak for them. Growth doesn't always happen in the open. Some of the most significant transformations take place in the quiet, away from the spotlight, where no one else can see them. Just like a seed is buried in the soil before it breaks through the ground, your personal growth often happens in private before it becomes visible to the world. In these hidden seasons, it may feel like nothing is changing, like all your effort is going unnoticed. But just because you can't see the results yet doesn't mean growth isn't happening. You are being prepared for something greater. A seed doesn't immediately sprout the moment it's planted. It takes time, nourishment, and patience before it pushes through the surface. In the same way, your progress may not be visible to others right now, but deep inside, something is happening. You are developing resilience, wisdom, and strength. These hidden seasons are where you learn discipline, refine your skills, and build the foundation for your future success. If you rush the process or get discouraged because you don't see instant results, you might miss out on the deep-rooted strength that's being formed beneath the surface. One of the biggest mistakes people make is judging their progress by what's visible. They think if no one notices my hard work, maybe it's not worth it. But real growth isn't measured by outside recognition. It's measured by how much stronger, wiser, and more prepared you become. Just because people don't see your effort doesn't mean it's wasted. The greatest breakthroughs come after seasons of silent preparation. Your time is coming, but first you have to be patient with your process. Hidden seasons also serve as a time of protection and development. When a tree is young, it is vulnerable to strong winds and storms. If it were exposed too soon, it could be damaged before its roots were strong enough to sustain it. That's why some of your biggest dreams and goals require time before they are fully realized. You may feel frustrated, wondering why things aren't happening as fast as you'd like, but trust that you are being prepared. The longer a tree spends developing its roots, the stronger and tall it will stand when it finally grows. In the same way, your hidden growth is setting you up for long-term success. Another reason growth happens in hidden seasons is that not everyone needs to see your process. Some people will doubt you. Others may try to discourage you. If you share your plans too soon, you may encounter unnecessary negativity that could shake your confidence. That's why it's important to keep some things private while you're still in the early stages of growth. Your progress is between you and God. When the time is right, your growth will be undeniable. But until then, protect your vision and keep building in silence. It's also important to understand that growth doesn't always feel good. Just like a seed has to break apart before it can sprout. There will be moments when you feel stretched, challenged, or even broken. But this discomfort is part of the process. Every struggle is shaping you. Every challenge is making you stronger. And every setback is teaching you something valuable. The pressure you feel is not meant to crush you. It's meant to push you toward transformation. Embrace the process, knowing that the struggles you face today are preparing you for the victories of tomorrow. So if you're in a season where it feels like no one notices your hard work, like your dreams are taking too long to come to life, or like nothing is changing, don't get discouraged. Your growth is happening, even if it's not visible yet. Just like a seed stays underground before it flourishes into a strong, thriving tree, your time will come. But first, you must trust the process, stay consistent, and allow yourself to grow in the hidden places. Because when your season of breakthrough arrives, all the preparation you've done in private will finally be revealed for the world to see. Your energy is one of the most valuable resources you have. It determines how much you can accomplish, how you feel, and how far you go in life. But too often people waste their energy on things that drain them instead of investing it into things that help them grow. They focus on negativity, engage in pointless arguments, dwell on past mistakes, or worry about things beyond their control. But if you want to reach your full potential, you have to be intentional about where you direct your energy. Not everything deserves your attention. Not everyone deserves your response. You have a limited amount of energy each day. Spend it wisely. One of the biggest energy drains is dwelling on the past. Maybe you made mistakes, faced setbacks, or went through disappointments. But no amount of worrying will change what happened. If you keep replaying past failures in your mind, you are wasting energy that could be used to build a better future. Learn from the past, but don't live in it. What's done is done. You have the power to create something better, but only if you stop looking back and start moving forward. The longer you dwell on what went wrong, the more power you give to things that no longer serve you. Another way people waste energy is engaging in unnecessary drama. Some people thrive on gossip, arguments, and negativity. They want to pull you into their chaos, drain your peace, and distract you from your purpose. But you don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. Not every situation requires your reaction. Silence is sometimes the best response. Instead of wasting time proving your point to people who don't matter, protect your energy and walk away. If something is not helping you grow, bringing you peace, or moving you forward, it's not worth your time. Worrying about what others think is another major drain on your energy. So many people hold themselves back because they're afraid of judgment, criticism, or rejection. They hesitate to chase their dreams because they're worried about what people might say. But here's the truth. No matter what you do, someone will always have an opinion. If you spend your life trying to please everyone, you'll end up exhausted and unfulfilled. Instead of worrying about others, focus on becoming the best version of yourself. Your purpose is not to impress people. It's to fulfill your destiny. Another way energy is wasted is by focusing on things you can't control. You can't control how people treat you. You can't control what they say about you. You can't control every situation you face. But you can control how you respond. Instead of stressing over things that are out of your hands, focus on what you can do. Put your energy into personal growth, faith, and positive action. The more you focus on what's within your power, the more productive and fulfilled you would become. Worrying doesn't change the outcome. Taking action does. One of the best ways to protect your energy is to set boundaries. Not everyone deserves access to your time, thoughts, or emotions. Some people will take and take without giving anything back. Others will bring negativity, doubt, and distractions into your life. It's okay to distance yourself from people or situations that drain you. You don't owe anyone unlimited access to your life. Your energy is precious. And if something is not adding value to your journey, it's time to let it go. Surround yourself with people and activities that uplift, inspire, and encourage you. At the end of the day, you only have so much energy to give. If you waste it on things that don't matter, you won't have enough left for the things that do. Every time you engage in negativity, entertain distractions, or worry about things beyond your control, you're spending energy that could be used to build your dreams. Be intentional, be protective of your energy. Choose peace over chaos, progress over distractions, and purpose over approval. When you learn to guard your energy, you'll be amazed at how much more you can accomplish, how much lighter you feel, and how quickly your life begins to transform. Not everyone who enters your life is meant to stay. Some people come to teach you lessons. Some come to challenge you, and some come to distract you from your purpose. That's why it's so important to be selective about who you allow into your inner circle. The people around you have the power to influence your thoughts, shape your beliefs, and either push you forward or pull you back. If you surround yourself with the wrong people, negative, draining, or toxic individuals, you will find yourself constantly struggling with unnecessary stress and distractions. You don't have to give everyone access to you. Protect your peace, your energy, and your purpose by choosing your relationships wisely. One of the biggest mistakes people make is keeping toxic relationships out of obligation. Maybe it's a longtime friend, a family member, or someone you've known for years. You feel guilty distancing yourself, even though every interaction with them leaves you feeling drained, discouraged, or frustrated. But longevity alone does not justify keeping someone in your life. If a relationship no longer serves your growth, it's okay to let it go. It doesn't mean you don't care. It means you value your well-being enough to set boundaries. You are not obligated to keep people in your life just because of history. Not everyone is happy for you when you grow. Some people will secretly resent your success. They were comfortable when you were struggling, but the moment you start improving, they feel threatened. Pay attention to people's reactions when you achieve something good. Do they celebrate with you, or do they try to downplay your success? Do they support your growth, or do they make subtle comments to discourage you? True friends will uplift you, while those who are envious will try to hold you back. If someone constantly undermines your progress, it's a sign they don't deserve access to you. Another reason to be selective about who you allow in your life is that some people bring unnecessary drama and negativity. You know the type, always gossiping, always complaining, always involved in conflict. Every conversation with them drains your energy instead of uplifting you. The more time you spend around these people, the more their negativity seeps into your mindset. Your peace is too valuable to be constantly disrupted by drama that has nothing to do with you. If someone is always bringing chaos into your life, it's time to reevaluate their place in it. People who deserve access to you should add value to your life. They should encourage you, support you, and challenge you to become better. Relationships should be a source of strength, not stress. This doesn't mean that real friendships are perfect or that there won't be disagreements, but there should be mutual respect, trust, and encouragement. Surround yourself with people who push you forward, not those who keep you stuck in the same place. The right people will help you grow, inspire you to aim higher, and remind you of your potential when you doubt yourself. It's also important to recognize that outgrowing people is a natural part of life. Just because someone was a great friend or partner at one point doesn't mean they will always be. Sometimes you grow in different directions. Your values shift, your priorities change, and the relationship no longer aligns with who you are becoming. It's okay to let go. Growth requires making room for new, healthier connections. Holding on to relationships that no longer serve you only slows you down. You can love people from a distance while still prioritizing your own well-being. At the end of the day, you have to guard your space, your time, and your energy. Not everyone deserves to know your plans, hear your dreams, or be part of your journey. Be intentional about who you share your life with. The people around you will either fuel your fire or extinguish it. Choose wisely. When you surround yourself with the right people, those who uplift, encourage, and support you, you'll find that your path becomes clearer, your confidence grows, and your success accelerates. Success doesn't happen by accident. It requires discipline, focus, and the ability to eliminate distractions. Too often, people start with big dreams, full of motivation, only to lose momentum because they allow distractions to pull them away from their goals. If you want to achieve great things, you have to protect your focus like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. Your ability to stay locked in on your vision without being swayed by outside noise will determine how far you go. You can't afford to waste time on things that don't align with your purpose. If you want to rise higher, you have to be intentional about where your attention goes. One of the biggest distractions in life is trying to please everyone. Too many people spend their time worrying about what others think, seeking approval, or trying to prove themselves. But the truth is, you will never satisfy everyone. No matter what you do, there will always be critics, doubters, and people who don't understand your vision. If you let their opinions distract you, you'll waste valuable energy that could be used to build your future. You don't need validation from others. Your commitment to your own journey is enough. Stay focused, do the work, and let your success speak for itself. Another common distraction is comparison. In today's world, it's easy to look at what others are doing and feel like you're falling behind. You see someone achieving success, and suddenly you start questioning your own progress. But comparing yourself to others is a trap. It steals your joy, drains your motivation, and shifts your focus away from your own path. Your journey is unique. Your timing is different. Instead of focusing on what others are doing, focus on what you can do today to move closer to your goals. The only person you need to be better than is the person you were yesterday. Distractions also come in the form of unnecessary drama and negativity. Some people get caught up in gossip, arguments, and situations that have nothing to do with their purpose. They spend hours debating with people who don't matter, scrolling through social media for entertainment, or feeding into negativity that drains their energy. But if you want to succeed, you have to be disciplined about where your attention goes. If something isn't helping you grow, it's a distraction. The time you spend on meaningless things is time taken away from your goals. Success requires making sacrifices. One of the biggest is letting go of distractions that don't serve you. One of the most effective ways to eliminate distractions is to set clear boundaries. If you don't set limits, people will pull you in every direction. They will demand your time, your energy, and your focus for things that don't align with your goals. It's okay to say no. It's okay to protect your time. It's okay to distance yourself from anything or anyone that keeps you from becoming the person you are meant to be. Success requires discipline, and discipline means making choices that prioritize your long-term vision over short-term pleasures. Another key to staying focused is keeping your eyes on the bigger picture. When challenges arise, when setbacks happen, when distractions try to pull you off track, you have to remind yourself why you started. What are you working toward? What is the vision for your life? If you stay connected to your purpose, you won't be easily swayed by temporary distractions. Keep your goals in front of you. Write them down. Visualize them every day. The clearer you are about your destination, the less likely you are to get lost along the way. At the end of the day, success is not about luck. It's about focus. It's about choosing to eliminate distractions, prioritize your goals, and stay committed even when it gets tough. The people who achieve great things aren't necessarily the smartest or the most talented. They are the ones who refuse to give up. They stay locked in on their vision, they block out the noise, and they keep moving forward no matter what. Your success is in your hands. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and don't let anything pull you away from the future you are building. In a world where everyone is quick to respond, quick to defend, and quick to engage in every argument, choosing silence is a sign of wisdom and strength. Not everything in life deserves your reaction. Not every insult needs a response. Not every battle is worth fighting. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is stay silent and let your actions speak for themselves. People will try to provoke you, test your patience, and pull you into negativity, but you don't have to engage. Silence is not weakness, it is control. It is choosing where to direct your energy. And sometimes the best response is no response at all. One of the greatest mistakes people make is wasting their energy on meaningless arguments. They feel the need to defend themselves, prove their point, or have the last word. But in doing so, they drain themselves emotionally and mentally over things that don't even matter in the long run. Your energy is too valuable to be spent on pointless debates. There will always be people who misunderstand you, people who twist your words, and people who create conflict where there is none. If you spend your time trying to correct them all, you will never have peace. Sometimes the wisest thing to do is walk away and let silence speak for itself. Silence also gives you the power to observe and understand more. When you're always talking, always explaining, always reacting, you miss important details. But when you stay silent and listen, you gain clarity. You notice people's true intentions. You see through the distractions and recognize what's really happening. Silence allows you to process your thoughts before making decisions. Many people regret the things they said in moments of anger or frustration, but you will never regret staying silent and thinking before you speak. Not every reaction needs to be immediate. Sometimes the best move is to pause, reflect, and choose your words wisely. Choosing silence doesn't mean you allow disrespect. It means you refuse to let negativity control your emotions. Some people will try to bait you into reacting because they feed off drama. They want you to argue, to explain yourself, to lose your peace. But when you refuse to engage, you take away their power. Your silence frustrates those who expect a reaction from you. It keeps you in control while they waste their energy trying to get your attention. Never let someone else's chaos disrupt your inner peace. When you learn to stay silent in the face of negativity, you become untouchable. Another benefit of silence is that it makes your words more powerful when you do speak. If you talk all the time, people stop listening. But when you are selective about when and how you speak, your words carry more weight. People respect those who speak with purpose rather than those who speak just to be heard. When you choose your moments wisely, your voice becomes stronger. Instead of reacting to everything, you learn to respond only when necessary, when your words can create impact, bring wisdom, or inspire change. Your silence builds the strength behind your voice. Silence also teaches you the power of patience. Not everything in life needs an immediate reaction. Sometimes the best response is to wait, to let time reveal the truth, to allow things to unfold naturally. Many battles are won not by fighting, but by staying still. If someone wrongs you, you don't have to seek revenge. Life has a way of handling things. If someone doubts you, you don't have to prove them wrong. Your success will do that for you. The less you react to negativity, the more peace you invite into your life. At the end of the day, silence is not emptiness, it is power. It allows you to protect your energy, guard your peace, and stay in control of your emotions. Not everything deserves your attention. Not every battle needs to be fought. Not every opinion needs to be addressed. The most successful, peaceful, and wise people know that their silence is often more powerful than words. Master the art of staying silent, and you will master the ability to rise above anything that tries to bring you down. As you move forward in life, remember this: your focus is your power, your silence is your strength, and your peace is your responsibility. You don't have to explain yourself to everyone. You don't have to fight every battle. You don't have to waste your energy on things that don't serve you. You are here for a purpose, and that purpose requires your full attention. The world will always have distractions. There will always be noise, negativity, and people who try to pull you off course. But you have the choice to rise above it. You don't have to engage. You don't have to react. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. Let your actions speak for themselves. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and stay committed to your own growth. Protect your peace. Guard your energy. Choose your battles wisely. Not everyone deserves access to your time and emotions. Not everything needs a response. When you learn to focus solely on yourself, to block out the distractions, and to move in silence, you unlock a new level of success and fulfillment. You become unshakable. So today, make a decision. No more wasting time on things that don't matter. No more explaining yourself to people who don't understand your vision. No more reacting to negativity. Instead, put your energy into becoming the best version of yourself. Work hard in silence. Let your success make the noise, and watch how everything in your life begins to shift. The best revenge is not proving people wrong. It's living well, staying peaceful, and becoming everything you were meant to be. Keep your head high, stay focused, and move forward with confidence. Your future is too important to be distracted by the small things. Stay silent, stay committed, and watch your life transform.